Ever dreamed of hitting the dance floor and shaking your bonbon with the cast of Dancing with the Stars? What if I told you that learning to dance could be your secret weapon for feeling happier, healthier, and more confident? No sequins or TV cameras required, although sequins are always good. In Panama, dancing isn't just a fun activity, it's a way of life. Whether you're looking to stay active or just try something new, learning to dance is one of the best ways to feel at home in a new country. In this episode, you'll learn how dancing can transform your social life and maybe even your love life, and why Panama is the perfect place to learn. And the best part, you don't need any experience and you don't even need a partner. You just need a willingness to move, groove, and have a little fun. This episode is near and dear to my heart because dancing has literally changed my life. Stay tuned as we dive into the joy of dancing and why so many expats in Panama are stepping onto the dance floor. Trust me, you don't want to miss one single step, spin, or shimmy. Welcome to the Panama Podcast, from dreaming to doing. I'm your host, Melissa Darnay. If you want insider tips on living, investing, and having a blast in Panama, go to choosepanama.com and snag your free copy of Panama Uncorked. Welcome back to the Real Expats of Panama, a segment of the Panama Podcast, where we cut through the noise and bring you the real scoop of what life in Panama is actually like. Joining me are two powerhouse co-hosts who know Panama inside and out. Stacey Jenks is our vacation property management expert, and Amanda Gleeson is a turnkey decorator. Our special guest today is Javier Cabrera, co-owner of Let's Dance in Panama City. Javi is a unique guest on the podcast in that he has given dance classes to all three of us. So unlike other guests,
It was fun.
So unlike other guests, well, we've only had one or two people know the person before we've interviewed them. We all have a relationship with Javier. So Javi, welcome to the Panama Podcast.
Cheers.
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 Javi, tell us a bit about your background. Where did you grow up and what brought you to Panama?
I was actually born in Panama, but I was outside of Panama in the U.S., in New Jersey, for about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Joyzy.
You were a Joyzy boy.
Jersey boy over here. Yeah, South Jersey.
Are you the original Jersey boy? You know, they did the Jersey Boy, the music.
Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those original Jersey boys, but no, I was in South Jersey, not in North Jersey. So yeah, after 20 years, I decided to come back to Panama. I would always come back almost every single summer to visit.
Because you had family here.
Yes, to visit my extended family. And I saw how the country grew, and I just fell in love with the whole culture of the country. So I decided to come back, I think, when I was about 17.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was not too happy about that. And then I decided to come back because of how much I love the country.
Wonderful. We love it too, so we can understand that. How old were you when you started dancing?
I was a little bit older than 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were younger.
No, I was a little bit older than 17.
I thought Latinos came out of the womb.
No,
I know, right?
That's one misconception. Yeah, we got to talk about that. But yeah, a little bit after high school, a little bit after I graduated high school, I started actually formally dancing. And before that, I started to train when I was about 15. But formally dancing when I was 17.
And what was your inspiration for learning how to dance?
Oh, I always fell in love with the music, first of all. And when we were growing up, it was mostly in family get-togethers. It was salsa. We would do bachata, merengue. So it was always that feeling of that dancing is something that you should always do. So that was my first inspiration, was my family. Mm-hmm. And then my brother was actually already dancing by that point. So he got me into it as well.
Jonathan.
I've never met Jonathan.
You haven't?
No.
You got to meet him. He's a
Definitely.
blast.
I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And a phenomenal dancer.
Yes.
So I can see the big brother dance. So you wanted to dance because your big brother danced.
Exactly.
So he came from a dance family. So you're about 22 years old when you moved back to Panama.
Yeah, by that point, I wanted to set up Let's Dance because in Panama, there was actually no ballroom in the whole country. So that's what...
So there was salsa, but no ballroom.
There was salsa, there was bachata, but there was no ballroom like cha-cha, rumba, tango, foxtrot, waltz, all the other styles that we do. there wasn't any of that in Panama. So we brought that
And
to
were
it.
you the first studio that was actually truly bilingual?
Yes, and I would say still.
Yeah. Because obviously his English, he grew up in the U.S., so his English is just like ours.
Yes, very good.
And most of the teachers at the dance studio also have amazing English.
Yeah, all of our staff, that's one of the things that we strive to all have is to be bilingual. Apart from being great dancers, we all speak English and Spanish.
Was that a benefit or a hindrance when we had our classes together and we kept making jokes?
I think it was a benefit.
Okay, all
because you
right.
can connect more with people.
You didn't want to just block us all out?
Of course not, darling.
So we've all taken tango classes together. She and I have taken salsa classes and cha-cha.
And we had one team effort at starting the samba, but that
samba.
just didn't take for us.
Yeah, we had
That
one
just didn't
samba
take.
class. Samba's hard.
So
Samba
that
is one of the
was too
hardest
much for
dances,
me.
yeah.
It was just too much for me. We did a couple and I was like, this is not my dance.
Samba's actually one of the hardest dances out there.
So his partner, Margie, was teaching me about 20 minutes of samba, and we were really working on the hip action. And I went to get out of the car yesterday to pick up my mother from the airport. I had a Charlie horse in my buttocks. I literally could not move while it worked itself out.
That tends to happen, Melissa.
New dance, new muscles. So speaking of which, what are the different types of lessons that you offer? Like I know you do weddings, you teach people like us who just want to have some fun.
Right.
What else do you do?
So yeah, we teach mostly people who want to do this as a hobby. Some people who want to compete as well, we teach them. But primarily we're teaching more social dancing, how to use dancing to socially meet other people. That's what our main goal is, apart from teaching people who are getting married as well. We teach group classes of different styles, and we also do what's in Spanish will be acondicionamiento físico, which is like just working out your muscles so that you're able to dance better.
Now, I know we were challenged because we had another of our friends. So there were 4 of us in the tango class. But I've been told, like, for weddings and couples, they come in and they have a month to learn a dance for the wedding.
Yeah, sometimes they come a little too on top of the date.
Yeah.
Note to self, if you're getting married, you need more than a month.
At least 3 months in anticipation would be nice. But we do what we can. The important part is that they feel natural when they're dancing together. So we don't try to overdo what we teach them.
If someone's just beginning dancing, what style of dance do you think would be the easiest one for them to?
So like get into the the dancing scene. I would say merengue is probably one of the easiest ones to get into because of the timing, and also bachata because they all have like this even time frame, so they're a little bit easier to start with.
Bachata's the music of romance as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets a little sensual. There's actually a style called sensual bachata, which if you want, we can have a lesson on that a little later on.
And, there's a joke. I took salsa lessons for 6 months and I lost 2 dress sizes. And then she comes up, I took bachata lessons for 6 months and now I'm having a baby.
No. Not for real. It's just a saying.
When's the baby shower?
No. No more baby showers for me.
And how about the fact that when people come to you, do they come mostly in couples or do they come mostly as single people like we did where you're not coming with a partner?
I would say about 70% of the people who come are single.
Partnerless.
Partnerless.
Maybe married, but not with a partner.
Exactly. But either way, you have an instructor or a female instructor or a male instructor that will teach you the lesson or dance with you as well.
Have you thought about starting up like a dancing dating service? You could be like dancing matchmakers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're single. Okay, you're going to be a dance couple.
So there is actually
Or is that what your group classes are?
no. But are you talking about like hire someone to go dance with them? Like,
No, like you've got a single man and a single lady, right? You're a dance couple now. Matchmake
we
them
don't
up.
we don't specifically do that, but we've had people that come to the studio and meet their significant other there.
You've
so
had
that
dance
has
class
happened.
romances?
Yeah, we've had
How
it.
many?
We've had it. In the studio we are now, in the last like 3 years, we probably had about 4 of those kind of incidents that happen.
Ah, so for
And
anyone
is
who's
your-
wanting dating tips, go to a dance class.
Well, things
Is your
happen when
record
you
better
dance.
than The Bachelorette?
I think so. I think so.
I think anything's better than that.
Because I've got to say, I think I mean, I know Australian men, dancing is culturally like not a thing. Like they maybe do the shuffle and that's about it. I think men underestimate how attractive a man is who can come up to you, confidently take your hand, pull you on the dance floor and dance. So
That's right. And you don't need to be Fred Astaire.
No.
You don't need to have all the moves, just a few moves.
Yeah, just a few in your repertoire that you feel comfortable doing, and you can connect right away with anybody.
And when I started dancing me and YouTube. And this was funny because Javier would
I
say,
remember that.
You know, he would say, you do it like this. And I'm like, but YouTube said. He's like, YouTube's wrong.
I have to say, Javi has a lot of patience.
Stacey, do the dance. If this is Javi,
this is my dance space. This is your dance space. I don't go into yours. You don't go into mine.
Why are you running away from me?
and we talk about the difference between, Latins, your personal space is much closer. Maybe
Right.
it's 12 inches or less. And with Americans, it's probably 18 inches. And then there's Stacey, who's probably 3 feet.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anyone touching her. So this has been fun to watch because I can see her dancing
funny.
with people. And so she'll get to know someone and then feel comfortable. But I don't think you two are even at the less than 12-inch space yet.
We're about 8 inches.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you're
pretty good.
ancients.
Yeah,
We're
getting
Every
there.
once in a while, when we start something new, I like.
Yeah. It's a new concept that, I can feel it with the new concepts. Yeah. But we've been working on that over the years. So
Yeah, you're still-
it just takes a little bit of time.
And when I came in, imagine me, I know exactly what I want all the time. So I said to Javier, I do not want to dance with a partner. I want to learn to dance by myself. Thank you very much. You don't need to be my partner. And we did that for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Until finally I was like, okay, uncle, I give. I'll dance with you.
Because there's some things you can do on your own. A lot of the stuff that we do when we dance, you have to have your own balance. You have to have your own posture and everything. But some of the things you can only really do with a partner. And when you feel that connection, it's like another world. It
It's
feels like
another
something
world.
else.
Yeah, when you like for me, because I was not the best dance student, but when you finally got a move,
That's not true.
We call
Not at
She
all.
was. We call her the mother flicker.
She's a mother flicker, yeah.
She can do tango flicks like nobody's business.
don't ask me
can.
how, but that was my
It's a very natural
my
ability
hidden-
of yours.
my hidden
You're a
talent.
good flicker. Yeah.
Okay,
And there's something in cha-cha called the back spot. And when I practice on my own, I can only do a 360. But with you, it's a 1.5 circle. So that was hard because I had to figure out the physics of that.
Right.
Because with you, it feels like we're in a vortex when we're doing it, which is why we can get the speed. You can't do that by yourself.
Exactly.
So there are some things that are great with a partner. And plus it's so much fun, so much, I feel like it's amazing exercise. I feel like I'm aging backwards.
That's
And
amazing.
I feel
Yeah.
like I feel younger. I'm trying to do the splits. So this morning I had my husband measure.
how far away are you?
Well, I had a little conflict with my husband this morning because he said I'm the same that I was last month, and I'm like, no, I'm.
Does he know better?
I'm further. Lie to me. I feel like
know
I'm
better.
further.
Exactly. He should know to say just a little bit.
And he actually said you're worse than you were last month. Yeah, right.
Oh, no. Why
So,
would he
but anyway,
He's still breathing? Where is he?
I do stretch every day, trying to get that elusive split.
It's a great mood lifter. Like we always, like in our class, you would leave feeling good with a little bit of a buzz going on.
That's
like,
it. It's a buzz. It's a dancing
Yeah.
buzz.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about dancing. It's one of those benefits that dancing gives you. It relieves the stress. Like
And the endorphins.
I have a lot of students who come like they're super stressed out, and then
Yeah.
I could see that change throughout the hour that they're with me. By the time they leave, no stress.
Exactly.
They feel like a weight has been lifted, and they're just light as a feather when they leave.
And I feel like I've tried so many different sports, and my brain is always engaged in business. But dancing is one of the few things my brain is 100% on dancing. And for me, it's so healthy. It's so beneficial. And even though none of us are going to compete, we're not going to be competitive dancers.
You
Well,
do the end
you're
of
a little
year.
Never know, Melissa. Who
just-
knows?
No, but you do the end of year dance
So I'll do a
spectacular.
showcase, but it's not, it's not
It's not a
it's not
competition per
dancing
se.
for a prize.
And you strive to be the best. You
Yeah,
are,
it doesn't
mean you
don't
are
wanna win.
competitive. Let's-
Melissa's competitive.
yeah.
But my point is there's different levels.
Yeah, there's different
different
levels,
levels. And, there's a lot of people you can tell when they first start, they're very nervous when you go to group class. I prefer one-on-one to group class, but we do show up to group class every now and again.
Yeah, and I would say someone that's maybe a little nervous and getting started, to start with the private. To start with the private and see how they feel, and then progressively move. If they want to do groups, they can go into groups as well.
So what's the biggest misconception people have about learning how to dance?
I think one of the biggest things is that you have to be born with it, or that you naturally have to have the ability to do it. Or another one is like, you have to be Latino to actually dance.
To move your hips.
It has to be in your blood to be able to do it.
Look, I don't know.
I'm still struggling with that one.
And that makes me laugh, because some of my best coaches have been from European countries, German, Russian, or British. Like, they've been from nowhere near any Latin country. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions for me, is that you have to be born with it or be from a certain place to be able to do, for instance, the Latin dancing. No, you could be from anywhere, because a body's a body. You just gotta know how to use it. And that's what we're here for.
And I think it's so important as we get older to have good balance, because it's so easy to have an accident that changes your life in the worst way. So I think one of the benefits for me is getting better balance, standing up straighter, sitting up straighter, learning my body a little bit better, learning that balance point, and also building muscle.
Exactly. Yeah.
And probably bone density.
Along with the balance, I would say the improvement in the posture is another thing. Stand up straight, ladies. For instance, I've heard a lot of my students that have been dancing for a few months, and then they're like, I can actually breathe better because I'm no longer here, but I'm here when I'm in my day to day. So I can breathe better. People actually have a different reception to you when you enter the room, because now you're more up. So it also it changes the way people interact with you as well.
So true. And I think I've done a couple of the showcases where I've danced in public. And it's nerve-wracking, but there's something freeing about it once you've done it. It's sort of like overcoming your worst fear. Just like some people have a big fear of public speaking. I don't have that one. I love to public speak.
No.
But I did have a fear of dancing. And then once you've overcome it, it's like, okay, check that one off the list. And so now I can go to any dance floor at a restaurant, even if no one else is on the dance floor,
Just dance.
and shake
And
my
she does.
bonbon. And I
Exactly.
do.
So if someone's learned some of the basics and then they want to take it out of the classroom into the real world in Panama, like, are there lots of places that people can go, even if they maybe don't have a dance partner, but they can dance outside the classroom?
Yeah, there's a dance community in Panama, like a social dance community in Panama, specifically for salsa and bachata and merengue as well. For those three primary styles. At Let's Dance, we also have a social every Thursday night.
Okay.
So that social helps people to get ready to go out, let's say in the real world, to go out and dance in these different places. We have different restaurants actually have like socials for people to dance with. And they have in casinos, they have as well. So those are like the two primary ones right now.
Okay, so if you know where to go, there's actually a lot of places.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of the restaurants that have live music, there's going to be a place to dance. And even if not everyone else is dancing, sometimes it's just fun to get up and dance.
Just get up and move. Just
Start
get
the
up
party.
and move.
Start
Exactly.
the party. Start the party.
You make me sound like I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
Javier, let's pivot for a moment. How important is it in the Panamanian culture to be part of the dance culture?
It's super important. Like I mentioned before, like I grew up dancing in my household, and even though I was in the U.S., it was Panamanian in the household. Let's say it like that. So here, it's super important that you know at least one or two steps that you're able to do in or salsa or merengue or bachata, so that you can connect easier with people. Because you don't really need to speak Spanish. You can just
No
talk.
words required.
You can just dance. Yeah.
Body language.
Body language.
language,
Wink,
yeah.
wink.
So tell me, what is the funniest injury you sustained
It-
from another dancer?
From another dancer? Yeah, because that was broad, yeah. Funniest injury from just dancing, like dancing in any scene, is when the ladies have their ponytail. That is a weapon. That is a weapon because they start to spin. They start to spin their head. That
With
hits
their
you
long hair.
That hits you right in the face sometimes. So yeah, be careful with that diddly ponytail.
Who knew that was a weapon?
If you're enjoying this episode, please hit that subscribe button. And if it's not too much to ask, we'd love it if you also pressed the like button as well. Think of it like an online dip on the dance floor. I have a very serious question, and I just want you to just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't think too hard about it.
Okay.
But from the three of us, who was your favorite?
Oh, that's deadly.
In which dance?
Oh, see.
Well, Tango, because that was really the only one we properly did together.
Well, Tango. I like you as the flicker. I like you as a flicker.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's waltz, it would be Stacey. I love to dance the waltz with Miss Stacey. And if it's salsa or cha-cha, it would be Miss Melissa.
Well done.
Yeah. Poor guy. Put him on.
Yeah.
Which one
Deer
is
in
your
the headlights.
favorite?
Well, that's the cool part about the ballroom world, that there's so many styles and you can connect with so many people in so many different ways. So you can have a lot of favorites. Let's say it like that.
That's right. And there's so many different types of dance. So we as a group took Tango, and it was fun for 6 months.
I had to join the Tango class, otherwise I wasn't allowed to go on vacation to Argentina.
We were going to
wow.
disinvite her. But you loved it.
I had a great time.
Loved it, yeah.
You were a hidden talent. I mean,
And
Who
I
knew I could flick so well?
yes.
And I feel like we learned that dance for a season.
Yeah.
Because it's not something, especially in Panama, it's not something, there's not a big tango community here. But it's something that was fun to learn. So if you're ever on a cruise or something, you can dance tango. If Arnold Schwarzenegger comes up to you, you can, do the tango with him.
Tango for your life.
That's right. But I think there's other dances, as you have a season, you learn one, and then you have another season and you learn something else. Like I started with salsa, and I thought that was going to be the dance of my life. And it's actually not the dance that I love most. Right now, of course, I love cha-cha most. But I think that is interesting. So if you come for one thing, you might like something else better.
And I like knowing, still, you brought up earlier, we haven't tangoed in a while. I'd like to do it every once in a while just to
Come back to
Just
it,
to
revisit
remember
it.
it.
Yeah.
Remember it.
And I would say a great dancer never sits a song. Like if they put any song on, you should be able to dance it. So that's part of the ballroom world, being able to dance whatever song comes on.
So do you still love dancing, considering you dance for work,
Yeah.
but you still enjoy dancing in your free time?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
especially after 2 cups of coffee. He really loves
yeah. You got to be careful. If I drink more than 2, that's a problem. But yeah, of course I still love it. I've been doing it going on about 20 years. Professionally about 17 years. So it's been a long career up to this point, but it's still nice that I could wind down, and with my life partner, dance partner, with Margie, she's also the other owner of the studio. We can still get together and
Who's
dance.
phenomenal. She's
She's an amazing dancer.
We can still get together and dance after a long day of dancing. We can still dance and have fun with it. Because it's about the connection when you dance with someone.
Javi, when an expat comes from another country, whether it's the U.S. or Canada, and they land in Panama, maybe they're on vacation, maybe they've just moved here. They walk into your studio. What can they expect?
They can expect a fun environment where our biggest concern is that they feel comfortable and they can actually learn something that they can apply, not just in the studio, but in the outside world.
And the music's always good.
Yes.
The music makes you want to move, whether you know how to move to it or not. And I do love that. And I love the fact that, like you said, everyone's bilingual, so you don't feel weird because you don't know Spanish.
Exactly.
And it's fun dancing with Javier because sometimes we'll talk about all these Americanisms that only Americans know. And I'll be like, oh, I haven't heard that saying in years. I'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm on the short bus.
no. I was going to say, I stuck my caboose out.
Yeah, the other day was caboose. Yeah.
Caboose. It's like I hadn't heard that one in a long time.
I used that about 5 more times that day. Because here, no one would really understand what
a
caboose is. So it's kind of cool to have classes with you, and we can compartir, or we can be together and talk about those different things that other people won't understand. Caboose.
And we do learn a tiny bit of Spanish sometimes in class.
A little bit.
Yeah,
We go
a
a
little
little bit back and forth between English and Spanish.
So Javi, if someone wants to come into a class, can they just walk in? Do they book online? How do they do that?
Yeah, we like for the student to let us know beforehand. They can go to our website if they want, because sometimes students do want the private class. Sometimes students want to come to the group classes. So our group classes are set, and you can come to anyone if you want, like as a walk-in. But we do like to know beforehand, especially if it's like going to be something more private.
Javier, how can someone get in touch with you?
Of course, you can get in touch with us through our website at letsdancepanama.com.
And I'll also put that in the show notes.
And if you want, you can also look us up on Instagram if you want. And Let's Dance Panama.
Wonderful. For those of you who love Instagram or the website, again, those will both be in the show notes. Dancing isn't just about the dance steps. It's about the joy, the energy, and the connections you make along the way. Whether you're looking to meet new people, stay active, or just have some fun, Panama is the perfect place to step out of your comfort zone and onto the dance floor. Want to give it a try? Connect with Javier at letsdancepanama.com and start your own dance journey today. Remember, when it comes to moving abroad, what you don't know can cost you. Until next time, we'll be here bringing you the real stories of life in Panama.
Cheers.
Cheers!